Hey y'all, this is Retha.
Hey, this is Deandra, and you are now listening to.
Coffee Heals and Conversation podcast.
So grab your coffee and listen in. Hey, y'all. Hey, how y'all be?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back to another episode of the pod. We thank y'all
Welcome
so
back.
much for being here.
Yes.
So as usual, we're gonna go ahead and do them church announcements, which is what coffee we drinking. So Rita, what you drinking today?
So I don't know how to pronounce the brand. I think it's Javalia. It's my first time trying it. So I did that with some oat milk. This brand of oat milk I'm trying, it's okay. And you know me, I had to put a little some extra because I'm extra. So I put a little Bailey's in it. It's all right. It's cool. It's drinkable.
It's drinkable. I'm dead. Okay.
I think I put too much creamer in there or something.
Oh, that sucks.
Are you real light skin?
I'm about to say, can you tell from the color of your coffee?
Yes.
Yes, me too.
It's
okay.
real light.
That is hilarious. I'm having, what is this? This caramel coffee is usually I do a caramel pecan, but they had just caramel at Walmart, the Church of Walmart. So I got that, and then of course my oat milk creamer. I'm not off of it yet. I'm still on that, and a little bit of caramel syrup, and that's it. And it's regular degular, and my elephant cup, which I enjoy thoroughly. So yeah. So hope y'all doing well. Y'all had a good week, all that good stuff.
Yes.
We have an episode for y'all. I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be, I don't know,
I think it's gonna be good and motivating.
Yeah.
For all of us.
For all of us, because definitely for
Ciao.
me. Okay. Okay, so the way this episode came about is we talked about this a few episodes, maybe not a few episodes ago, but a while ago. We talked about just like not like breaking promises to yourself, not letting yourself
showing
down.
Up for yourself.
Right, showing up for yourself or whatever. So the other day I was on good old TikTok, like always. And I've always heard E.T. the hip hop preacher, always heard his stuff. I forgot, somebody told me about him and I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was my best friend or somebody else. But anyway, anytime I hear him, I'll stop and listen because he's really good at what he says. Like, he's really good at motivating. He's good at his job, basically, right? So, but he said, I heard one of his speeches. Is it a motivational speech, I guess, right? Is it that?
I would think so. Yeah.
I guess so. Well, okay. Well, it's a motivational speech today, all right? I heard one of his clip of his speech and I wrote it down. So let me tell y'all what he said.
Yeah.
I need you to confront you because you the one holding you up. Mercy. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you you're not going to do me like this no more. You're not going to continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not going to keep procrastinating. You're not. You should be further in life. You know you should be further in life, but you keep letting you slide. Hold you accountable and don't let you off the hook. Girl, when I heard that,
that's deep.
Right?
That's real deep.
Right? Because I know we talked about like breaking promises to yourself, but this it says the same thing, but it says it in such a different way where it's like like you gotta talk to yourself like you gotta talk to yourself in that way, like the way that you are gonna understand, like I can't keep doing this to me. So it also reminds me, like literally the other day, me and my mom were talking and I was telling her like, oh, I need to get, so I've been working out, doing really good, working out.
She's been doing a good job. Okay.
Thanks, friend. Eating right. He got me the meal plan. I was like, at first, for the first, probably like, I want to say maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months. I was dead serious about my meal plan. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't nothing. Like I was eating my meals on time, exactly what I needed to be eating, exactly what I needed to be drinking. Like I was on it. So then I was just like, oh, you know what? I've been doing really good. I'm going to give myself a little treat. And a little treat, okay? A little treat became, what the heck is wrong with you? Like we out here, you know what? I deserve a little bit of something, and we got a little bit of dunking, okay? Anybody who know me know dunking is my weakness. So we got dunking, and then we was like, you know what really sound good? A Chick-fil-A. But I was like, oh, I'm doing good because I was doing the grilled nuggets, which is something that he said I could have. He was like, you can do, grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A. So
Mm-hmm.
that part wasn't bad, but it was the
No.
fries. It was the fries that went
Mm-hmm.
with it. It was
Mm-hmm.
the drink that went with it. It was the brownie,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So
Yeah.
then I'm like, because my mom the other day, I'm like, I gotta get back. I gotta get it back. I gotta get
Yeah.
back to where I was. And then I
Yeah.
heard this. And I was like, if that
Ooh,
ain't God,
message. It's time.
right? If that ain't God, like, yeah, get back to it, ma'am.
Get back to it, fam.
Do it.
It's so interesting because for me, it's like, like I'm the kind of person like I have been on this journey of up and on and off for quite some time. Okay. And so like with, you know, so my gym did like a 6-week challenge and they did it 3 times. I tried to like, I started the first one
Mm-hmm.
and like they kind of overlap. So like week 5 of the first session was
Mm-hmm.
the start of week 1 for the next session.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of overlap by a week or two, whatever. So was almost finished with week 1, started week 2, and then I got sick. And mind you, like these are challenges that I'm putting money in.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was $30. So basically, like I paid $60 and wasn't able to complete the first or second challenge. And so when it came to the third challenge, I was like, oh, it's probably too late. Oh, I don't want to put no more money down. Da, 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 da. And so when I realized, I'm like, oh, you still can join the challenge. It's like, girl, because I was kind of like in my feelings because I'm just like, well, technically, because it's basically the challenge is to come to work out 3 days a week at
Okay.
least. And so I was doing that, and technically, if you can't, because I was going 4 days a week, so
Mm-hmm.
technically, I did more than 12 workouts. Okay,
Right.
so I was hoping that technicality would still make me qualified to be a part of it. Technically, because I didn't get the 6 weeks, it didn't count.
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling like, why should I even bother with the third session? And then it's like, I thought about it. I'm like, let me just do it.
Mm.
And I actually finished it this time.
Yay!
And
Congratulations.
thank you. I actually finished it this time. And it was crazy because it was interesting to see my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were days where I'd be like, I don't want to go, but I put this $30 in. And I'm not trying to lose this $30 this time to
Right.
let me go. So even like, okay, like for instance, this was week 6, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it ended on Friday. I had plans after work to go to the gym with some friends, and so it was like okay, because I usually go Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like okay, I'm not, and I was like trying to figure out okay, how can I get my 3 in because I'm not trying to lose this money, like, and so I was motivated to get up Tuesday morning
Mm.
and hit the gym at 6 in the morning. I was
Yay! Good
there Monday, Tuesday,
job.
Wednesday. And then it was like the way that I felt throughout the day, I just felt so good because I got up, I got my time with God. I went and it was like I just felt so good throughout the day. I was like, I'm gonna start going. And
Mm-hmm.
here I am telling the world right now. So if I don't do this, this is on me. I'm gonna start going on Tuesday mornings before work.
Mm. Yeah.
Because it was like I just the way that I felt throughout the day, I was like, well, like I felt good and I felt proud of myself and I just felt so it's like my eating is getting better, but I'd be struggling with that. But it's also about like me finding, I get tired of eating the same stuff.
Right.
Because my thing is, like I was telling Deandra before we started shooting, I was like, or before I started recording, I was like, I don't believe in like total deprivation of stuff.
Right.
I want to have a sustainable way I can eat for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to do this diet and then like I restrict myself from the foods that I love to eat. And then I start eating them again, I get on this way back. That's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I eat healthy, but also still be able to have the things that I do enjoy. So that's like what I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on. So I'm getting better with my eating, but it's such a thing. Like the thing that hit me was like one of my friends at work, because I used to, when I tell you guys, fam, I used to take my vitamins every day. Like I was known for this at work. I was taking my vitamins every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking infused water, all this stuff. I didn't even think about it until I saw my friend at work and I was like, oh my gosh, like I used to do that. She's like, Doretha, you're the one that inspired me to do this. And so now she's inspiring me to
Right.
get back to like drinking my infused water, and like taking my vitamins. And the girl, when I tell y'all I have not taken a vitamin in a long time.
Right.
It's crazy how like we'll do stuff and we start off good and then we just let ourselves slide
Right. Right.
and don't hold ourselves accountable. And it's like, oh snap. And then something you did years ago is inspiring somebody in this moment. And you're like, I used to do that. And then for her to tell me, well, you're the one that inspired me to do that. I'm like, dang, okay, well, now she's inspiring me back.
Right. Right. I like that though. But I feel like I agree with what you said. Like it's crazy how something you done years ago, like even like, you know, you saying, oh, you're doing really good. Like I'm watching and I'm like, oh, really? Thank you. Like I don't think neither one of us give ourselves credit for things that we are like doing in the moment. That for me, I'm not going to speak for you, but for me, I won't give myself credit until the end of it. So like until I actually finish it or I actually like complete it. So I think one of the ways that we could continuously keep ourselves accountable is like giving ourselves credit for the like milestones, like breaking it down. Don't let it be like I'm only going to recognize this accomplishment when I'm done accomplishing it. Like so so I think that one of the ways that we can help ourselves is like set smaller goals, not smaller goals. Like we have what we're gonna accomplish. Like say like the goal is to lose 60 pounds, right? So when we lose 10 pounds, we give ourselves credit. Like, okay, like you can go back, reassess, see what worked to get you to this spot, which I feel like we keep talking about, but I also feel like it's something that we're not doing. Like I know I'm not doing it. Like I've been
What's credit?
Huh?
What is credit? Because I don't give myself any.
You're so. I'm sitting here like, what? You are so silly,
girl. What is credit? Because I could call one of my friends on the speakerphone right now and ask them, "Do I give myself credit?" They're like, "No, I don't. I don't acknowledge my progress. I don't I don't give myself credit, and I'm something that I am working on, but I don't like." Like it's so funny. People be like, "Oh, do you think you're doing it?" And I'm like, "I'm trying," and they'll be like, "You're doing it."
Right.
The thing that's funny. This is how hypocritical I am as a human. If somebody said that to me, like if somebody said that to me about themselves, I would go, "You're doing it."
Right.
But then I'm not.
Ma'am. But I also think that not giving yourself credit is another way for you to end up letting yourself down because you're not recognizing. It feels like you haven't gotten far at all because you're not recognizing how far you actually got because you're still far from your end goal.
From your end goal,
so like you feel like I haven't done anything because I'm still here when I should be over there. So I think that's another way of starting to give you to not let yourself off the hook is be like, look at what you've done this far. Even like it don't even have to be like something public. It could be something to you, like you know, or have a friend that you can check in with and like, okay, this is the progress that I made. This is the progress that I want to make or whatever. Like you keep yourself and you put your goal in your face. So like something that you have to continuously think about because it's easy to be like, oh yeah, that I got time to do that. Like how many times do for me myself personally, how many times do I have papers and I know that they're due in 3 months and I'm like, right, 3 months, I got time.
And then you don't start writing into the third month.
The day before.
The day before.
The night before. It's due at 9 a.m. And what am I doing at 10 o'clock? The previous that night. Writing. So
it's crazy. It's so interesting how that happens. And I think it's definitely not a good thing. I think some of it is, at least for me, it's probably a trauma response because of the stuff that I've been through. And it's like always feeling like I'm not enough or always feeling like, oh, like what I'm doing isn't enough. And it's like, no, it is. Like, and I think even like that's something that even in therapy, I'm working through where she talks about like basically implementing a reward system where like, okay, if once I accomplish this goal, then I get to do this. And like that being something, and maybe I should do that with this particular time of me trying to like finally like get where I want to go. Cause I'm giving myself till next April. And it's like I really do not want to have the same body size I have right now next April.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, start now. Don't wait till December
Right.
when you only got 4 or 5 months until your birthday again. Like, actually, um, the other thing, and I think too, I think some of it has maybe this is just for me. I think some of it has to do with what we're taught in church too. For me, at least, it's like, oh, like you don't want to be prideful, so you kind of feel like, oh, if I acknowledge, somehow you get the message. Because not only did I get that from church, but also I got it from my dad. It's like that wasn't their intent, but the way that I received and internalized the message is like, I don't acknowledge any of my progress. I don't acknowledge nothing until I actually get to where I'm trying to go,
Right.
which like actually isn't a good thing because I'm not acknowledging like the steps that I have made or the things that I am doing because there was a workbook that I'm working through, and it's called Silencing Your Inner Bully. And one of the questions was, what was the last accomplishment you made that you didn't celebrate? And I was like, well, what was the last thing I accomplished? Because I don't even think about that. And it's like, because I did that the other day, and it's like, girl, you just finished the 6-week challenge. Like but of course you didn't celebrate that.
Right.
Because you're just like, okay, I finished it or whatever. But like, did I actually, and then that's the other thing. How do you celebrate that?
Right. Yeah.
But also like, so it's also like learning how to celebrate and how to honor like your progress. Like, how do you do that? That's the other thing. Cause I don't know how, like, yeah, I made that progress, but.
One thing I want to say before how you celebrate is I think with the not being prideful thing that we learned in church, I get what you mean when you say like, because of what we were taught with not being prideful, it does make you not want to acknowledge anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like even being prideful, but also boasting and being like, I don't ever want to be conceited, like perceived as conceited. Right.
Yeah.
Like I already know that I don't like conceited people. So, but for me, if I say I've done something, that's being conceited or like drawing attention to myself. It's like, I don't want to do that because I don't deserve this attention. Like, you don't have to pay attention to me. Like, we're good. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, like even the whole April challenge thing that I'm doing, like the reason why it's posted the way it's posted is because I don't want everybody, I haven't accomplished anything. I don't want you to see the journey. You know what I mean? Because I want you to see me at the end. And then I'll tell you how I did it.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, this is what I'm learning. People seeing you on the journey is important, though.
Yeah.
It's important for a couple of reasons. One, of course, me, queen of accountability for other people and myself, accountability, right? Mm-hmm. Like, y'all see me posting. If y'all ain't see me posting my working out, maybe like, Doretha, have you been going to the gym? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that. But then also it's like people get tired, especially with the social media age that we're in. Mm-hmm. People get tired of seeing the before and after without the middle. I'm one of them people. Yeah. You tell me, oh, I make 6 figures now, but what was your journey to get there? Mm. Don't give me the tips. I want to see the tips, but I also want to see what was your journey. How many businesses failed that you did? Like how? Yeah. Like I want to see the journey. I want to see because like the thing of it is, I crave and I'm big on authenticity. Yeah. And so, like people who know me know, like I'm very truthful. Mm-hmm. And very outspoken, and I will call you on stuff because also like people call me on stuff and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I admit my crap. That's one thing I do. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I crave authenticity. I want to see how difficult was it for you? Because a lot of times we feel like we're by ourselves on the journey. Yeah. We feel like, don't nobody struggle this much to lose weight. Don't nobody struggle. Like I'm going through, there's so many things I'm going through right now. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to heal just from my childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. I'm also trying to heal from my church trauma, which is entangled with my childhood trauma because I grew up in it. Mm-hmm. I'm deconstructing and I'm like, this is hard. Right. Right. Anybody else struggle this much to deconstruct and also heal? Like, please tell me I'm not crazy. Right. Yeah. Please tell me that it's like difficult for other people to lose weight too. Mm, yeah. Because you love food and drink,
right. Right. I think the other thing, and I guess this kind of The reason why the challenge is posted the way it's posted, which you are fully aware of, is because the other part that I've told myself for this entire journey, even for posting it the way that I'm posting it, is even including you. I'm including you and everybody else in that group. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see this. I'm doing this for this purpose. Like, I'm doing this for the challenge purpose. So I'm doing it to, for my coach, like, so my coach can see where I'm at. But for other people who like see it, they don't care. Like, nobody, and that's why that's something I tell myself. Like, that's why
until you see a message from me.
You're so silly. That's why I said what I said. Like, don't worry about how I got there. Just know I got there. Because the other part of, I guess, my inner bully is like, nobody cares. Nobody is sitting here like, wow, you're working out. Great. We don't care. Like, that's what people are, that's what the bully's saying. Like, we don't care. So that's why my challenge is posted in close friends, is because y'all don't care. And I know y'all don't care. And I know the close friends are just clicking. And that's fine. Y'all don't need to say anything. That's fine. Thank you so much. That's why I say
but your inner bully is also a liar. Just like mine is. The book has had you name. I named mine. Did you name yours?
No, I did not.
Literally, I named myself after a character on a TV show. That's what I did.
Okay, that's smart. I don't know. I have to think more about it. Check in with me later. Gotta think more about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think one of the ways we could celebrate, one, for me, celebration can't be food, because I'm gonna go off the deep end. Okay.
Girl,
it can't be food. It cannot be.
It cannot be food or liquor. Okay?
It cannot be that at all. But maybe, I don't know, because that is a good question. Like, how do you celebrate to the point where it's not easy for you to say, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna do this. So, like, maybe one of the celebrations could be a spa day. Maybe it could be a trip. Maybe it can be like something. I mean, even though a trip and food go hand in hand, so I'm not saying that,
Hello, somebody.
I'm not saying that it can't ever be food, but
it doesn't have to always be.
It doesn't have to always be. But
go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, like, how are we gonna?
It makes me think of something that my therapist, like the way that she had me work on it. Like, okay, she said, okay, give me a small, medium, and large task, and what corresponding things you would do. Like, okay, so one of the things I've been talking about for the last couple of episodes is how I need to get my brakes fixed. Okay, so one of the things was like, okay, what would be? She was like, what would be the corresponding reward for that? And I was just like, maybe taking a trip or driving somewhere. And like, maybe with the things that we're doing, we can attach some kind of reward, and that can be the celebration. Right. So like, for me, like the week of my birthday, she was like, okay, so what kind of things can you do? Like, what tasks do you need to do? And what could be the corresponding thing? And one of the tasks was, I need to dust my bookcase so I don't have to clean on my birthday. Right. So, but it did really make me be like, oh, it made me like, oh, I did it. Because like, one of them was, there was something else. It was something very small. I was like, oh, I'll do this, and then I'll let myself watch a podcast that I like. So it was just kind of like, maybe we can use that to like attach a reward to like whatever accomplishments we have, like, especially if we do make it like more bite-sized or whatever. Like, maybe say, okay, every 10 pounds I do a spa day, and that's my celebration. Or maybe every 10 pounds I do this or whatever. Because it doesn't, like, it shouldn't always be food, and it doesn't always have to be food. It can be like, if you enjoy, because I am a person at my big age, I still like to cruise. So I will freaking drive around on the freeway, just driving. Maybe if I do my workout on this day, and then that means on the weekend, I'm just going to drive down the freeway. Something like, think of something that, and you know in your mind that you're doing it because you've accomplished whatever goal that you set. Yeah. And so I think that maybe tying that reward system to it, and that could be, like I said, the celebration. Because I don't really like, my friends get on me, like, I do not celebrate my progress. I do not, because in my mind, I'm not where I want to be. And not realizing that like the journey is actually the most important part.
Right. Yeah.
The journey itself is actually, because especially with like just talking about weight loss, but there are so many other things that we're both trying to do in our lives, and it's like the journey is the most important part because it's where you learn who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I tell you, I did not, I didn't, I'm telling you, I didn't think that I could get up at 4 something in the morning to get my time with God and go to the gym. I didn't think I could do that. And I was like, wait, I can do this? Oh, bad.
Right. Speaking of, I can do this. That literally made me think of the other day. I was working out with my trainer, and he gave me an exercise, and I looked at him like he had 15 heads. I said, I can't do that, and he was like, I'm sorry, what? And the one thing I love about my trainer is I'm able to talk cash crazy. I tell him like, this workout is stupid. This is the dumbest thing you ever came up with. This is dumb.
Oh, I love that.
This is stupid. Thank you. And I appreciate that he lets you do that because that's not my personality. I like to joke and to have fun, and I like to like talk crazy, not in a disrespectful way, but
Yeah.
I like to. I'm one, and also I'm very dramatic. People who know me know that I'm very dramatic.
You're the same.
So, so I like to say, this is the dumbest thing ever. And he's like, right. Anyway, give me 5. And I'm like, that's stupid. So anyway, tangent over. He told me to do this workout, and I was like, I wasn't being funny. I was like, I can't do that. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you tell me to do that? I was like, last time I did that, I nearly died. And he was like, when was the last time? And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, when was the last time I told you to do this workout? And I was like, I don't know, like last year. And he was like, you really think that you didn't make any progress from this year to last year? I said, well, last year, I said, because I had stopped working out with you for a while. So no, I'm just getting back to it. He's like, you're not a beginner. Anyway, he's like, anyway, do this, you can do it. Do the workout. So I did it. And I didn't realize that I did it. So I did it. We did 2 sets of it. And then he was like, how do you feel? I said, tired. And he was like, that was the wrong answer. And I'm like, well, what was the right answer? Because I said, okay, fine. I'm not tired. I'm winded. And he was like, you should be accomplished. And I was like, oh. He's like, because didn't you just tell me you couldn't do this workout?
Wow.
And I was
that's
like,
good.
oh, dang, you're right. I did say that. And so when you said that, it made me think of like the fact that I wasn't even thinking. He was like, even from the work that you have put in thus far, there's progress that you don't even realize that you made. So you're able to do this workout for longer than before. You just like, oh, I can't do that. I'm tired. So I'm like, you're right. And he's very big on saying like mindset, change your mindset. Like, you know, if we do a workout and I'm like, this is hard. He's like, no, it's not hard. It's a challenge. And you can do it. And you can overcome a challenge. Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something, what E.T. the hip hop preacher said, and something that we have to remember. Like, we do have to shift our mindset because like we said earlier with the whole like journey, like you don't give yourself credit because you're still far from where you want to be. It's still a mindset shift.
No, it really is about mindset. And it's also about community, because something that is very interesting for me, because I go to a Curves. It's not like a big gym. It's like a circuit training. It's like all women and stuff like that. And so I have been going so consistently that it's almost like I'm developing a community of people there. Like people look forward to seeing me. I look forward to seeing them. Like we exchanging numbers and all this stuff like that. And it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, then it becomes like, oh, I want to see the people that I like to work out with.
Right. Yeah.
You know, or I want to make sure that I make it so that when I walk in, I get cheered on because I need that today. Right. Or whatever. Like even this morning, I was about to not go to workout class today because they have classes at certain times. So Saturdays they have the class. This is a Saturday we're shooting on. They have the class at 9 a.m. I was like, I put my workout clothes on and everything, and I was just sitting there because I was so tired. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just go later. And it was like, girl, just go. And it was such a good class, and I super needed it. Like, and it was like, wow, like the fact that I almost didn't come.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And then it's like realizing that there are certain things you don't know you can do until you try. Because I have thought about going to they changed their hours. They opened a little later so that there was no way for me to actually do it.
Right.
But now that they open at 6 a.m., it's like, girl, you got time, you can do it. Just
Yeah.
go to bed at a decent time on Monday night, and then you can go
That's the
get
hard
up.
part. Going to
And
bed at a decent
that's the
time.
part that, girl, that's the part for me.
That's the hard part.
That's the part I need to really, and that's the other thing. Hold yourself accountable to your bedtime. Like
Right.
it's literally in my phone. I get a reminder half an hour before
to go to bed,
and I would still be
right. Exactly.
go to my phone. So it's really about like realizing that all these things, because it's not, there's so many things. And I think too, I like the nuance of like trying to be healthy because it's not just one thing. Mm-hmm. It's not just your eating. It's not just working out.
Right.
It's not just getting your water in. Mm-hmm. It's also sleep.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't think about how important all of these things, you need the whole gambit for it to work together.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So sitting there reminding myself, girl, you really need to go to bed on time. So that like your body can rejuvenate because of all the work that you've done. Mm-hmm. Because, and then that's the other thing too. It's like to have the accountability of like the community that I mentioned too. It's like you having your trainer, me having the people that I like to work out with, because they'll be like, oh, where you been?
Right.
I miss seeing you. And I'm like, oh, I ain't been here. So it's just like, right. I think finding those little things to motivate us and really not letting it's in it for me, it's a balance because there are certain things I do need to let myself off the hook for, mm-hmm. but then there's things I need to not. You like, no, you need to hold yourself accountable. So mm-hmm. it's about finding the balance because there's things that, like, for instance, for me, I think a lot about other people's feelings above my own. And it's like, no, sis, no. Let yourself off the hook. Put your feelings on the hook, okay?
Right.
Think about your feelings.
Right.
Forget everybody else in this moment because mm-hmm. I've been so trained to like think about everybody else aside from myself.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, like turning that in, it feels weird, but it's like, no, you need to put yourself first because if you ain't good, then you ain't gonna be good to nobody like you trying to help out here trying to serve.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's good. I think that this episode needs a check-in episode, like maybe in a month or 2 months or whatever, like we'll just do a quick check-in and see where we are because like I said earlier, one thing that I keep noticing is something that we keep talking about, not in a like redundant way, but just like it keeps coming up in like a oh yeah we should do that, that, and then it's like stuff it starts to add to it, like you were saying earlier, like your mindset again starts to change, so then you get mm-hmm. to add more to it, and you get mm-hmm. to recognize
it gets deeper and
like,
deeper and deeper.
Right, it gets, so it's different levels to it. It's not like just one plain thing. It's not mm-hmm. something that you could talk about once and that's it. Because if that was the case, I'd probably be a millionaire by now. But
if that was the case, I'd be skinny as heck. Okay, right. Like hello.
All right.
So it's like that's what I've learned, and because like those who know me know that like intimacy with God is a thing for me, and so like as I've grown in it, I've realized that there's levels and layers to it. So I apply that to like there are levels and layers to anything that you're trying to grow in or heal mm-hmm. from. Yeah. So it's like so you're gonna hear this again when we do the check, and you probably gonna hear this on some other stuff, okay? Because it's an important part because we're trying to like, we're trying to heal, we're trying to do the things that we need to do, and it's like it's a process.
Right. Yeah.
And the layers and levels.
Right. Exactly. So the moral of the episode is hold you accountable and don't let you off the hook.
At all.
Check in with us on the socials. You can follow me at Deandra.Monique. You can follow the podcast at coffeehills_convo pod on Instagram. Rita?
You can follow me at Read the Author. And please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we're going to say this almost every episode. Rate, review, subscribe, and share because we really want to grow. And ratings help us to become more discoverable so that other people can find us. So don't be selfish, rate it and give us that 5 stars because